Hey there, everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all who all are joining us globally. Um, yes, I welcome you all to yet another episode with Rajendra. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. And yes, my name is Parth Varu. I am Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor India. Please go through our code of conduct as we are here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding their differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section. I repeat again, please drop all your questions in the comment section. And now, yes, exciting topic, and I would not like waste the time more. I would like to bring in Rajendra, our speaker for today's session. Hi, Rajendra, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi, Pat. I'm good. How are you?
I am all good. Exciting session. Perfect monsoon time for a coffee time as well. So
Yeah.
yes, I am brewing up my coffee as well. How about you? You're streaming live from which city?
Hyderabad.
Oh wow, great.
Hyderabad. Yeah.
The floor is all yours, Rajendra.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to Microsoft Reactor as well as a Path. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. So, wherever you join. So, I'm Rajendra. Before moving on to my self introduction, I'll just try to give in what we are going to discuss on-prem SQL writer to the Fabric Lakehouse. So, most of the organizations currently in our current setup before Microsoft Fabric, we are trying to get connected to the on-prem SQL database, trying to do the data warehousing, and trying to do the report building and everything. So what is the difference here? So what on-premises SQL server, how we are going to move this on-premises databases to the Fabric Lakehouse. So we are going to discuss thoroughly about this topic. And if you have any questions, as Pat said, so you can please post the queries in the chat box so that I can get review and then I can answer accordingly. So before moving on to the discussion as a part of agenda, I'll just try to give myself an introduction. I'm Rajendra, lead BI engineer at Bosch and working with the Microsoft client for different multiple projects. And I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and which is currently I'm holding with this. And recently, a few days back, I was awarded as a super user branch from Microsoft community, where I will try to provide the solutions to the community people and share my knowledge via communities, different communities. And I'm a top business intelligence voice badge I have received from LinkedIn. So where I feel proud and where which will be helpful for others too. And if you want to get in touch with me, so you can follow my LinkedIn handles. Like I started writing the blogs on data analytics field, included with the Microsoft Fabric and different other technologies too. And you can connect me via LinkedIn and YouTube channel and even the Microsoft Power BI community forums. And that's about the brief and jump onto the topic then. So today's topic, as I mentioned, these are the follows agenda. What is a Microsoft Fabric? Getting Fabric Lakehouse setup. How we are going to set up a Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse there. And before setting up, so how we are going to navigate this Power BI gateway, which is why it is required. So that part also we are going to discuss. And what are the security measures that we have to keep in control while configuring this server? So it's not directly connecting from cloud environment and bring the data to the source on-premises source to the cloud. So we have to follow some security measures. How we are going to set up that process, we will thoroughly discuss about it. And connecting to the on-prem database to the Fabric Lakehouse, how we are going to pull that on-premises SQL Server SSMS database to the Fabric Lakehouse. So what are the how we are going to pull it? So what are the key measures that we have to take in care? So after that, assigning the destination for the data flows and write back the data to the dedicated lakehouses. So how we are going to configure and store our data in the lakehouse, we will discuss thoroughly about it. And if you have any questions, as I mentioned, we can you can post it in the chat so that I can answer. I can help you accordingly. Fine. Let's jump onto this. So Microsoft Fabric, as current training technology, this product has been launched last year, 2023 in May built, Microsoft built. So the main agenda is something like end-to-end analytics platform where we can try to perform instead of taking control of different sources, different on-prem source system. Everything will be get integrated into a single environment. Like you can find out the data engineering stuff inside the Microsoft Fabric, or data integration stuffs like ADF, Azure Data Factory. We can find it in the integration stuff part, and even data warehouse also we can try to build it in the Microsoft Fabric. And if you are working on the real-time analytics, and we have a something like a dedicated team working on the IoT and sensor related data, we can even bring the real-time analytics inside the Microsoft Fabric along with the data science like machine learning models. We can build it and predictions too all together, where we can try to share the insights to the customer. It has been included to take the business intelligence tool also get available inside the Microsoft Fabric. So to share the analysis and to provide the insights to the customer for their business needs. So if you're observing this simple architecture, data warehouse related, the internally it will be get supported with transactional SQL database, and data will be get stored in the form of delta format, so which will be like compressed. So I mean, maybe if my file source system is very huge information, it will be get compressed and it will be get stored in the form of columnar storage area. And even for the data engineering and data integration part, Spark SQL language will be the backend support, so which will be get stored the data in the delta lake format only. All the components and environments, if you're observing, these are all stays on the one lake storage. So in one single lake house, I mean like a one lake, we can create a multiple lake houses too. So how we are going to create multiple lake houses, where we are going to create the lake house, we are going to discuss on the demo part. And coming to the real-time analytics, so if there is a team who is very good at the Custo SQL language, KQL, we will call it. So they can try to write the very simple statements like a simple count, or else like maybe if you want to see the explained by with some simple data, we can see the analysis related to the telemetric or what I said, real-time analysis, IoT sensor data. And the information will be get stored in the form of delta format only. Like business intelligence, where we can try to share the global analysis, or else to take some quick decisions based on the connected tables or files, we will try to always make use of the Power BI application, which is then business intelligence tool from Microsoft, which I have elaborated with a lot of components which you are observing currently. These are all the Microsoft Analytics platform where we can try to do the data ingestion to even the data activity. You can see in between multiple personas we have it, like a data integration we have ADF, data engineering part we can perform PySpark, this kind of a coding, and data warehouse where we will try to maintain SCD type tools like historical data as well as the current data, and data science projects too. So where there is a team, if there is a team with holding a knowledge on Python, PySpark, they can try to do the machine learning models within the Microsoft itself. Along with that, observability. So observability or data activator, where if you are completed one of the project and if you want to see some notifications about any new things, or as maybe as per the data like rising of my value, we can set some kind of an alert notification, so we can trigger by using the data activators too. So these are all the different components which has been built on the top of one lake hub. You can see it, it's a single unified platform and complete one security. We can try to manage each and every individual component level, even at the table level and files level. And even we can try to reuse these assets, resources for different other applications to new applications or new projects too, where the complete environment will be built on unified platform, which we are calling. So how it will be like current our activity is how we are going to take our on-premises source system to the Microsoft Lakehouse. So that part we are going to discuss, but this is the complete architecture where we can try to do the activities part, and from the data level, from the data ingestion to the data notifications by using the data activators. So who are going to work? So as I mentioned, it is not for one particular department or else a segment. So you can see here, data engineering teams, the supporting experience and tools I have added in the down, like a data factories, data warehouse building, data engineering, and real-time statistic or real-time intelligence analysis. Data science people, they can try to do some quick building of the model, like if they are very good in the cognitive services and integration of ML ops, they can try to make use of the data science, and Azure ML language also will be get supported. And anyway, data analyst, which we will call it as, and data warehouse related stuff, which will maintain the historical data as well as the current stuff, where we will try to convert those insights to the business level, like to key decisions, key performance indicator. So which will be supporting languages as well as the tools. If you're observing, Power BI is also get included. And data citizenship, where you suppose maybe if you want to see some kind of an insights, or else maybe if you want to build some supporting experiences on the based on data grains or as a data access management part, we can try to make use of complete Power BI will be get supported with Microsoft 365. So altogether, it's not for one particular segment. So it has to be included all the departments from the Microsoft Fabric, engineering to the data citizenships, like reusing the assets or managing the assets part, like by using the data stewards. So how we are going to upgrade it, or else maybe reuse the security controls and all, it will be get maintained in our Microsoft Fabric. It's a simple architecture. How I'm going to move this on-premises source system to the cloud-based environment, and from there, the process of analysis, the final requirement should be have to analyze the data. So what are the ways to get it analyzed? So I hope everyone aware of the Medallion architecture, where the complete extracted information you can see in the left hand side, data sources like a files, a databases, like maybe if my source system is a business apps or sensor related data, the data will be copied onto the bronze layer. We will call it as a layers, bronze, silver, and gold layers. Bronze layer, it is going to keep raw data as it is. Whatever you have extracted, it will be get stored and copied into the bronze layer. It's kind of unstructured source system. Maybe we haven't done any kind of a single transformations, like making our data in a cleaner manner. After movement of the bronze layer, we will try to do some cleansing activities. So the data will be get stored, and we have created a layer name called silver. So for that, we will try to make use of some different applications like a notebooks. We will use the Spark jobs for scheduling, as well as data flows for building our pipelines and so on for the data cleansing part activities. And coming to the gold layer, the data will be get completely structured. That structured information we are going to store in the gold layer. So which will be benefit for the direct accesses to the Power BI, where we can see the data insights. And even if you want to write some SQL statements on the top of it, we can get it, make use of SQL data endpoints, analytics endpoints too. And the data from the gold layer to the Power BI, it will be get stored in the form of direct lake. So we know if whoever working on the Power BI, it will be having two types of methods like import method or direct query method if you're extracting data from any kind of a source like an on-premises source system. But here, because we are trying to pull the complete information from the cloud, and it will get stored in the this Medallion architecture, and the data from the gold layer in the cloud, it will be get resides on one lake. In one lake and lake houses, the data will be get stored in the form of direct lake to the Power BI. So I will showcase you practically how it will be looks like and how the format will be available on the Power BI, services level cloud part. So direct lake tables will be get stored in the Power BI part. So for the processing, it will be get supported with the notebooks. It kind of a cells where we can try to write the coding using different languages like a PySpark, or maybe if you are very good in R language, it will be get supported, or even the SQL language also it will be get supported. And you want to do the data cleansing activities by using a data flows online Power Query editor, we can perform those activities too. So I will showcase you the part also in the demo level. It's the complete lake house architecture, source system, preparation of the data, and analysis of the data by using these tools. What are the key benefits? So how we are going to get benefited by using this product? So if you're observing, everything will be on the services. We are not taking care or else working on some different tools or else applications. We are working completely in the one domain, one environment, Microsoft Fabric. On the administration part, it is centralized. So where we can try to give the controls of accessing of the workspaces, or you can try to do the any kind of an activities like a restriction kind of activities we can try to perform. And the low code platform. It's a completely low code where most of the activities we can see the code itself there, like intelligence wise, we can see the appropriate code. We can make use of it. And also we can get, a kind of a simple drag and drop techniques too, if you're working on this fabrics part. And you have seen the different data personas where the data ingestion part we have used, the data engineering stuff, data science related stuff. So there are different mix of data personas that are available. And coming to the security, it's a one security, like completely under the control of the administration part, where we can try to have the row level securities, we can try to provide it, and even the data governance, we can reuse the existing assets from Microsoft Fabric, and even the assets creation and reusing of the assets will be get available. It is simple to use to creation of the lake houses once we have a proper licensing part of like premium per user licensing part, and the flexibility to use different, moving from one environment to the another also, it is very flexible to move from their environment. There's a good benefits where we will try to focus on working with Microsoft Fabric. One more architecture, because if you can easily understand the architecture, it's as simple as easy while working on this uh, Microsoft Fabric, like how we are going to inject the data part, what other things. You can see on the left hand side vertical data sources. The data will be get stored in the lake house once we can create a proper workspaces. Whether the data will be structured, we will call it as a managed store system. Unstructured, we will call it as an unmanaged files or else unstructured files. Whether it is a streaming source system or LML models, we can try to inject or copy by using different tools that are available either from PySpark or data flows. We can try to inject it. Once it is done, we will store the complete information in the form of a custode database, and even we can see the replica mirror, like other persons also we can similarly parallelly we can try to work it from the lake house. We can try to pull the data from the lake house from the DB, and we can work it accordingly. And on the top of it, we can expose it to the different layers or else different platforms like Power BI, Custo queries, or notebooks. So the one more example which I have come across with the Microsoft, like the solution architecture from the data ingestion to the sharing the analysis or else insights to the Power BI or different other tools. So how we are going, before working on this architecture and else how we are going to pull this information means, first we need to create a proper workspaces. So we know everyone aware of the connecting to the Power BI services. So we have to get connected to the Fabric workspace too. First, we need to create a workspace, a dedicated workspace. And from there, we can see the different personas and the new tab. You can see the new tab which you are observing all. From there, you have to get selected the lake house also. So I'm going to provide some name to this practical demo. And how we are going to showcase these analysis and all, we will observe there. So on the left hand side, if you're observing, I'm going to create a workspace. At the time, I have created some different workspace name. And inside the workspace, we have to create the lake houses too. So multiple lake houses, we can get it created in one lake. One lake is different. Lake house is completely different. In one lake, we can create multiple lake houses. And within one lake, we can extract the data from any of the lake houses too. So the main motto here, to avoid duplicacy of the data, like get rid of the duplicate tables or else information. We can try to maintain a single copy of the data and pull that information from any of the lake house from which will we get stored in one lake. That is the main agenda here. So once the lake house has been get created, as usual, we will try to bring the on-premises source system to the SQL Server database. So I'm going to connect to the SQL Server database by providing the server details, connections, and here mandatory parties. If you are working with the on-premises SQL to the cloud environment, gateway is mandatory. So gateway should be available online, and once the gateway is online, we can configure our source systems on the cloud environment. So server we can provide it, database details we can provide it along with the username password too. So we will go with the SQL authentication method instead of using the Windows authentication method. So how we are going to create security measures like a login credential methods like username, password, and the SSMS. I'm going to showcase you that process too. So these are the important before connecting and extracting the data from an SQL server from a particular database. These important parameters we need to pass, like server names, we have to pass it. Gateway is a mandatory, and a username, password is mandatory. So if because we are going to use an SQL authentication mode. As I mentioned, gateway. So monthly basis, regularly we will get the notification alerts to gateway configuration. It should be online if you are trying to connect to the on-premises, because the data should be securely transferred from on-premises source system to the cloud-based environment with a safe and secure to the cloud environment. So make sure that the gateway should be online. Here, I will showcase you. I'm going to connect to my on-premises SQL Server SSMS, and there I will showcase you the multiple tables also, like AdventureWorks database I'm going to connect today, and I will showcase you multiple tables from the AdventureWorks, where those tables I'm going to get connected from the cloud-based environment with proper security measures and login credentials. So how we are going to do it? So let me showcase you in a practical mode. So these extractions and all, we will do it in the practical part. Hope you're able to see my SSMS studio, like SQL Server Management Studio. We know this is the basic stuff. We will get connected via Windows authentication with the domain username is local domain and password. We know this connection. Here, while connecting to the cloud-based environment, we need a proper authentication, like SQL Server dedicated authentication. So how we are going to create a service account or else dedicated login IDs. I'm going to showcase you the process here. So on the top of the server name, right click, properties. This is important step. Try to configure the security with instead of Windows authentication to the SQL Server authentication mode and failed login only. Select OK. Once it is done, here on the security part, we can try to create a new logins. So we can create it. So I'm going to create one new login. So here, three important pages are mandatorily configured. You can see on the left hand side top part, general, server rules, and user mapping. These three configurations has to be properly configured. Otherwise, it will be messed up. You cannot able to get connected on the cloud environment when you are trying to call SSMS, SQL Server database. How we are going to do that? So see here, in the general, currently I'm in the general SQL Server authentication. Try to provide a proper login. So I'm just trying to provide MSFT REC password. That is the username. And here we can try to disable these enforcement settings. And here, database master and language, we have to choose it as an English United States as per the locations. We can choose this. So I'm currently using English United States. So try to configure these parameters here. Don't close it. So next we have to configure the server roles. So public, by default it is enabled. So I need an access for complete accessing part and the administration of this all the tables and accessing part. So I'm using the system administration along with the public. Third tab, this is very, very important. So user mapping. So which database we are trying to connect. So as of now, if you're observing, I have only one database, AdventureWorks. I'm going to map it, select it to this user, MSFT RLC. And here the default schema, my tables has been get stored with the schema object DBO. So I'm going to use the DBO object schema here. Along with roles and accessing by database membership. So try to enable public by default and DB owners. So these three tabs setting up to get connected and the services plays a major role. So if you can configure these three tabs, general, server rules, and user mappings, try to restart your SSMS to store the proper email IDs, I mean like a login credentials, and try to connect it here with these new user ID and password which you have created. and try to do the same while connecting from the Power BI services level Lakehouse SQL server. So let's try to select OK. I'm created as a role, login ID with MSFT or AC. I will restart it here itself. So right click, restart. Restart it. Let's try to check whether you are able to connect it or not with this MSFT or SC. So I'm not using Windows authentication this time. I'm using SQL Server authentication mode. MS RAC. Test it here. It's connected. You can see it here. This is Windows authentication wise I have connected. This is SQL Server authentication. So where I have an access to my database AdventureWorks. The similar way, these same credentials we are going to get connected to the services level Lakehouse, where we are going to extract the data from SQL Server database. So before opening your Power BI services or Fabric environment, so please observe here app.powerbi.com. So two ways we can get connected to the Fabric environment. Regularly we will follow Power BI services means we will get to connect app.powerbi.com. Otherwise, if you are trying to connect to the Fabric and you have a Fabric workspaces, you can just try to tap app.fabric.com also. That one also will work. Fabric.com, fabric.microsoft.com, it will work. So it will be get to open the direct Fabric environment. And if you are trying to open powerbi.com means it will be get open and Power BI services window. So from Power BI services window also we can navigate to the Microsoft Fabric. You can see here down corner Power BI. It will be get see the vertical tab Power BI. If you can observe this Microsoft Fabric, you can see the complete Fabric tools and activities too. So you can see it here down. These are all tools. So sorry. It's again navigated to the Fabric. So these are all the tools. So it will be showcased in this format. So these are the tools and data personas. It will be get connected. We can try to navigate to different applications and different tools in one single environment. That is Microsoft Fabric. All we can find it. So how we are going to create? So before get connected to the Microsoft Fabric, please try to observe Pro licenses. It will not support to make use of the Microsoft Fabric. Maybe if it is in higher environments like higher licenses like premium per user, we can work on. And there is a Fabric capacity with say F64 SKU, we can work on stocks per unit. So these are the things we can, different licensing capabilities are there. If requirements, we will share it. So how we are going to get connected? So if you're observing, first we need a dedicated workspace. So let's try to create a dedicated workspace. Name MSFT B. I'm using the trial here, trial license. So this is the front end view. So once you have created the workspace from Power BI services, you can see in the top Power BI and MSFT REC B. That is the workspace name. And it will be get created with the Fabric content. So it is not a premium per user content. It is a Fabric content because I'm currently using the trial license. So where we are going to see the different tools and applications from here. So you can see the new button. So once you can try to open from here, you can see all the Power BI related like a report building, passenger reports, dashboards. And where are other tools? If you can select the more option, you can see the different personas which we discussed, like a data engineering, data factor related, data ingestion part, data science related. You can see this different tools and applications here, data warehouse related, and even the Power BI at the top, down. Real-time intelligence and everything will be get available. Fine. We are going to create a lake house. So we are going to create a lake house there. So lake house by default, you can see it in the data engineering part. So we need to get store our data. Storing our data with is a smaller or larger. And from there, we can try to perform the data cleansing operations with the different applications and tools like notebooks, we can use it. Or maybe if we want to make use of the for cleansing data flows, we can make use of it. So let's try to create a lake house. So where here in the data engineering lake house, I'm going to give a name to this like adventure DW lake house name. Adventure DW, I'm giving it as a lake house name. So whenever you created a lake house, automatically two folders will be get created in the lake house explorer. You can see in the vertical tab on the explorer tab, two folders, tables folder, files folder. Files is something like if you are connecting from unstructured or semi-structured source system, it will be get extracted from the file source system. And if your tables are completely structured, well organized data, that information you can observe via tables. Or maybe if you are connecting from a databases like SQL Server or Oracle database, PostgreSQL database, you can see the extraction via tables. You can see the data will be get stored in tables. And sometimes maybe if you are trying to connect it to an outsource like external source systems like AWS, Google, like a storage containers, right? In such a scenario, we will try to make use of a shortcuts too, like you can see it here, shortcuts. Maybe if my source system is an external sources like AWS, Amazon Web Services, or maybe I want to get extracted the buckets like S3 buckets, I can make use of new shortcut. So you can see it here, okay, like Google as I mentioned. So some are preview features. So we can try to, if we have a proper connectors, we can get it extracted the data also. Fine. As a part of our extraction, we are going to pull on-premises source system to the cloud-based environment. How we are going to do that? So here in the center, we need to bring the data into the lakehouse using upload a file, or maybe I mean for practicing part, they're providing some sample data also like traffic controllers or COVID related stuff, sample data set, financial related stuff. We can try to work on it as a part of working on hands-on experiences. And even the new shortcut, instead of right click on the files, we can make use of a new shortcuts from here. If you are trying to store our data in from an external source system to our lakehouse, like AWS and so on. So currently, I'm going to extract the data from a new data flow Gen 2. You can see the similar view of online Power Query editor. So whoever have a familiar with Power BI desktop, Power Query editor, you can see a similar view and functionalities that are going to available in the new data flow Gen 2. Let me select it. It depends upon the speed and network. So you can see the fastness. I mean, because as per the network speed, you can see the rotation in the center part also. So this is the similar view as like how we will try to observe the get data from Power BI desktop. So this is an online Power Query editor because we are connecting from the Power BI, cloud environment, right? So you can see the similar way on controllers which are going to available just like Power BI desktop. So how we are going to bring the information? So currently data flow which has been created. Maybe if we want to rename it, we can rename this data flow as well. Like maybe I will just try to give it as an adventure DB data flow name. I'm going to connect to the SQL server, try to use import from SQL data, which we are going to import from on-premises SQL server database to this cloud environment. In center, you can use the source system, or similarly by using this get data, you can extract the data from different source system, more than 100 plus data source systems it is supporting. So as per our requirement and constraints, we can get it extracted the data from here too. So I'm going to get connected from importing from an SQL server. So here the mandatory strings, so which I have showcased to you in my slides. Server name is a mandatory and gateway connection should be there. So I have to make sure that my gateway is enabled or not, yes or no. So we have to enable the gateway. So let me quickly enable it. And also we have to make sure that our gateway is online here. You can see the manage connections and gateway. Just try to select it. Manage gateways from settings part. It should be online, otherwise we cannot able to pull the information into your application. So my gateway name is MS Live Fabric. I'm just trying to make sure that my status gateway status is online. So this is the gateway, it is available now. So let me navigate back here. Try to supply the server details and database, I mean the created username password also. So let me copy this, my server name, and instead of passing the parameters, so see here, like a manual parameters, we can also automate via parameters. So we can create the parameters too. So here you can see the small pencil button, you can create the parameters also. So I just pass this in static normal manual parameters here, my server name. And here this is important, so where my gateway is enabled, so you can see the MS Live Fabric is on, and here we have to get enable the authentication code also. So it will be get supported with the basic Windows organization and service principal authentication modes. So I'm going to use the basic authentication mode with the created username and password. So I have created something like msft rac username and password. I'm going to extract the data with those credentials only, not with the Windows authentication or not with other authentications. So msft rac. Privacy settings, we can configure it either organizational or private public. So I'm using organizational here, privacy settings, data privacy settings part. So it's trying to connect and we have to get to see the database AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2020 along with the tables also. Let's see how it will get look and feel. It's as similar as how we will try to extract the data from Power BI desktop level, the data extractions. So you can see the similar view, like on the left hand side your database name, right hand side your connected table information as a data preview. You can see it. I haven't connected any data, you can see the blank panel here. So this is my database, AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2020. Let me open it. See here, these are all the tables which has been created from on-premises level. We are pulling those tables into the cloud-based environment. So we will easily connect it as like how we will connect it from the Power BI desktop. So maybe I'm interested with the employee table, geography, and product. And I will choose one fact table, factor resellers, and dimension resellers too. So these are the 5 tables which we are currently observing, like employee table, geography, product, resellers, and one important fact table, factor resellers table. I have picked it. Okay. So the data preview part you can observe on the right hand side as per the selections. You can see the table information here on the right hand side as a data preview. So what next? So as is, we will try to create, and these tables will be get loaded onto the lake house. So let's try to create it. You can see the create button, but in our Power BI desktop, if you're extracting the data, you can see load option. So we don't need to load now. We are going to store these tables into the dedicated destination lake house. So let's try to create it. Create it. These 5 tables. So these tables, it will be get available further data transformations, like on the top of these 5 tables. Maybe if you want to do some data cleansing operations, we can perform these operations in this online Power Query editor. You can see the table informations here. That means queries. Right hand side, data transformations we can observe. center the data preview. So each and every table, if you can select, you can see the data preview. So which is going to run here, and you can see the information in the center, the connected table information in the center. So as simple like how we will extract the data from, a desktop environment, and we will navigate to the Power Query editor. So in this online Power Query editor, which we are calling it as a data flow, we will perform the data transformations as per the cleansing or data cleanup operations. So here I'll just try to showcase you some important key tips. You can observe here the down. You can see the data queries. Data queries, currently you're observing the queries at the top. And even we can try to use a diagram view as well, like each and every table. And from there, if there is any new transformations you want to get it performed, you can perform on the top of it, like appending the two tables, or maybe if you want to replace with some information, you can perform this in the table view. Like a pipeline building also, we can observe it. It's a diagram view. Like that, we have a data view. So next one is the show data view. Below is the data currently which you are observing. And last one is an schema view, like for each and every table, what are the key columns, what is the data type. Maybe if you want to delete the column, we can do it from here too, like by selecting the table. You can see it here by selecting, and maybe we can try to remove these columns also. So last one is a view, another view, which we are calling it as a schema view. So let me use it as a normal query view with the data. So what we will do next? So are we going to publish it right away? So if you're observing the data, currently we have to get resides in a proper data destination. We have to specify. By default, as per the creation of the new workspace and the lakehouse, it's getting stored on AdventureWorks Data Warehouse Lakehouse, and workspace is MSFT or ACB. That is a lakehouse. You can see this is a small setting option. You can try to select it. That data destination, maybe if there is any change on the lake house, we can define the new changes and we can get it stored in another lake house also. So by default, the connection of this lake house is none. We can go forward. Next. And you can see the list of lake houses which has been created on one lake. You can see it here. Different workspaces as per my creation, destination targets, along with the lake houses also we can try to observe. So in this particular different workspace it is, you can see the other lake houses as well. PPCM demo, we can see the other lake houses too. Our lake house is MSFT RACB. So I'm going to store it here, but I've just tried to showcase you other lake houses too. So from here also we can try to fetch it, and these data also we can get it stored on the current lake house. Like that also we can try to move from one to another lake houses too. It's taking some time. So by default, it will be get showcased with that, as per the alphabetical order, dimension employee table. But all other tables other than the employee tables, we have multiple tables to other four tables also. It will get stored in the same container, same lake houses. So you can see it here. So in the PPCM, other lake houses like PPCM lake house I can get it stored here too. But currently we have created MSFT RSCB. So I'm going to get it stored on this lakehouse, data warehouse DW, AdventureWorks. Okay, select it. Next. It's validating the destination targets. You can see the down comments. So as is, like maybe if you still want to remove some unwanted columns like a schema, we are going to get it from here. Or still, if you want to perform some inbuilt existing transformation, you can turn off this automatic settings. You can perform some new transformations on the top of it also. So I'm using the as is, like use automatic settings. I'm not performing any new transformations on the connected tables, all 5 tables. So save settings. So just giving you directions to store these tables into the lake house which we created. It's done. So backend we have given it, but we haven't published it to store these tables into the dedicated lakehouse. So you can see down here a publish button. So you want to publish it right now or later also. Maybe if you still have to perform some new transformations, you can perform it. So as of now, I want to publish it. These are all transformations right away. I will use the publish now. It takes some time as per the cloud. So you can see a lake house. You can see it here in this particular workspace, a lake house. This is the one. And our SQL data points endpoints will get created automatically once you created a lake house. And this is your semantic model. So automatic data warehouse semantic model will be get available. Let me navigate to the lake house. So from here you can select it lake house, or from here also vertical pane you can see below underneath of MSFT or ECP workspace you can see where lakehouse to. So where we are going to get it? So it is going to available because we connected the structured tables, right tables, organizer tables. The tables will be get appear on this tables part, not on the files or else somewhere. So the tables will be get appear. So just try to refresh it for some time. Refresh because it's still loading backend. Either you can try to refresh it from these horizontal ellipse button refresh, or as simple as easy, you can see the gear icon here. You can use the refresh also. So the rate of Gen 2 has been get created. Let's see. The tables will be get appear. All fine. And few more important things I'll just try to showcase you in the meantime. So here currently we are in the lake house. Maybe if you want to write the statements like SQL, you can configure the SQL endpoints to SQL Analytics endpoint. If you want to write the queries a similar format like SSMS, like a views creation, or maybe if you want to create some stored processes, we can try to configure from Lakehouse to the SQL Analytics endpoint. We can write the queries like optimization part. We can try to perform these activities from this SQL Analytics endpoint. And here also, I'll just try to showcase to you. You can see manage one lake access, data access is a preview. If you want to restrict it, maybe based on the tables or maybe based on the columns, we can try to restrict it. We can try to enable the data access controls too. So I'll just try to show you this quick feature, new roles. So multiple roles are there, like a reshare, reassign the existing things. Like if you want to restrict only the viewer roles, these are all the things we can get it configured, table level. So you can see the details, right? Dimension, these are all my tables. So table level, you can try to configure even the columns level also, we can try to get it configured, the accessing part. So roles part, let me showcase you what are the different roles that are going to available. You can see here assignment. These are the different roles like read write, reshare, execute, and read all table. So as of now, currently one user. Maybe if you want to get add with multiple users, we can write it. Currently, read write, reshare, read all access will be get available for this lake house to myself. So in this way, we can try to get it configure. Let me refresh it. One table is still loading. You can see it, all the 5 tables. So dimension employee, geography, product, resellers, and fact table. So if you can try to select it here, this is completely structured data. On the top of it, where we can try to write some notebooks with some kind of a code, like for a data ingestion part, we can try to perform some notebooks also. We can enable it, we can configure. No, I want to build a semantic model and try to take it forward. These tables to the reports, we can try to take it forward to the reports too. You can see it, the layer, right? Fine. I'll just try to navigate to you from Lakehouse to the SQL endpoint, how it looks like. So please observe here. SQL Analytics endpoint. So from the same environment, once the lakehouse created, you can see the similar view as like an SQL, like in the left hand side, a DBO schema and multiple tables which you have extracted, like a geography, product, resellers, fact tables, along with the security, like the new queries. Maybe you want to write some new statements. We can try to configure with the new SQL statement. You can write the queries also. So most of the intelligence based. So you can see the lot of suggestions here while writing the statements. Dim table. I have a dim table. So you can try to execute it. You have to select it completely, run it. Or maybe if you want to store these statements, we can store it. Right click here, rename it. So these tables or these queries will get stored for reuse purpose. So we can try to reuse it, that particular code also. Fine. Currently you are observing some data here. I want to build an ad hoc insights too. So how we are going to build an ad hoc insight? So try to copy this executable output from this statement, explore this data with a preview. So we will use this ad hoc report building by using explore with a connected or else a data view. So it will be similar like a Power BI where we can see the number of columns and a kind of a complete area. You can easily drag and drop, and maybe if you want to write some filters, and we can quickly create a report by using this explore data preview. So currently it is a preview. So I'll just try to showcase it very quick. So gender, I'm selecting. You can see here. I may will just try to showcase you something like phone phone numbers. You can change this just like different type of a charts as well here. Still, you want to do some further analysis on the top. I mean, like a co-pilot also we can make use of it by using data overviews, like a quick summary as per the connected tables. You can also build some quick summary as per the connected visualization in the table, like a summary, like a smart narrative wise, it will be get created. You can get it added. This smart narrative inside to your quick analysis or as a quick building here. A summary it will be get added here. Data overview summary. You can see it. You have extracted and total employees from this data set is 296 with these records from 2006 to 2012. A quick analysis. So I'm not going to load it. I'll just close this part. Okay. I'm just using this workspace. Few minutes and then I will take your queries if there is any. So currently the data has been imported from on-premises to the cloud, and we will also see the data model, how these tables will be get stored for the reporting part, like a direct lake, how it will be get available. So give me a minute, maybe my today's it's a little bit slow from my end. Sorry. These are the different views. If you're observing this, the horizontal and vertical layout panes, we can try to design it at a time. Fine. Give me a minute. In the meantime, if there is any queries path in the chart, is there any queries?
I don't see any questions coming in for today. Yeah. You can continue. There are no questions.
Give me a minute. Stuck.
think there is a glitch. He's out of the studio. He'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us. Meanwhile, can you drop in the comment section from what place you all are joining in today? We have him back. Yeah, great.
Can you hear me, Parth?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Sorry, Parth, there is some network issue at my end.
No worries. No worries.
Fine. I'm just trying to showcase you how we are going to write the queries. So you can see it here. You can write the queries. And also, if you want to see the data model and you want to build the report, you can see in the down itself from the SQL endpoint model also. So this is the model view. So as similar like how we will try to observe the data modeling part, those are all the tables will be get created along with you can see some catcher files too because we are pulling the data from the on premises to the cloud automatically some catcher tables will be get created. So these are the catcher tables like a request history, request to session history. These are the catcher tables. So if you want to get rid of these catcher tables, so here manage data flow power by semantic model, we can try to make use of it. So whatever the tables, 5 tables you have extracted, you can try to configure only for the 5 tables instead of seeing the unwanted tables like caches. So now I'm just trying to create a managed default semantic model with only 5 tables. And also we can try to bring the relationship just like how we will try to perform the data modeling level connectivity from one to another. So you can see here on the top of it you can see the dotted blue color with continuous dots dashed lines, right? This is nothing but it is storage mode is a direct lake. You can see for each and every table is like a direct lakes tables will be get stored in our services. We know on Power BI level it will be have two modes, import method and direct query method. Other than composite models are there, dual modes. Here because we are pulling from the data from a lake house which is getting stored on the one lake, and these tables we are directly pulling onto this and trying to perform the further analysis, and the tables will be get stored in the form of direct lake. And the relationship building, it is as simple as easy. We can try to drag and drop. We don't have a manage relationship tab at the top. So we can easily drag and drop and build the relationships also. Like example, I want to bring a relationship between employee key to this employee key. We have three types of a cardinalities it is supporting. Three types of cardinalities: one to one, many to one, and many to many. Not many to many is not supported. So it's as simple as easy when we can try to configure this cross filter as single. We can provide the relationship between one table to the another table too, like this. Like maybe I'll just try to provide one more based on dimension product table, product key to this product key. We don't have a manage relationship tab to provide the relationship here, so we have to use the drag and drop technique only. Yeah. So these tables are connected. So if you want to build any new measures, we can build it. Calculations, KPI measures. If you want to derive some new columns, again, we can navigate back to the SQL and then we can derive the new columns and create the new tables also on the SQL front. So by using this by enabling query tab, you can use either the views if it is available already created. Maybe if you want to get created some new tables, it will be get created too. So from modeling, how we will try to navigate to the report building. So what is the process then? So this is the semantic model currently. So here on the top, we can observe the new report. We can try to navigate from the new report. A similar layer like Power BI, how we will try to observe it. So same view we can try to observe from this Microsoft Power BI services, Power BI layer. So from here, we can try to build some visualizations and then we can share this reporting analysis to the global leaders too, like this. Very quick, I'll just try to provide some quick insights by using this product and these things. Or Cursor is more okay, like this. Or maybe if you want to derive some numbers, counts, we can try to provide it. Selection. So we can try to convert this as an report. We can save it here. And also we can try to configure which task or else which layer. This is very important. So once you can try to configure the workspace, we can also configure where we are going to store it. So the report name, I'm going to provide it. So MSFT report demo. It will get saved in the same workspace too. So from here we know how to get it shared and further analysis, like to sharing the report access to the customer. So I'll just try to showcase you last activity here, where the different languages, maybe if you are coming from the background of data engineering, how we will try to have an different languages support here, like PySpark, Scala, these languages. Let me showcase you that. Give me a minute. Let me navigate back to the lake house here. You can open the either the new notebook or existing notebooks too. I'm just trying to showcase if we have existing notebook from one of the workspace. Language part. Few minutes, we'll stop it. You can see here, complete workspace level we can observe on the left hand side, like lake houses where we are trying to pull. And the languages part, by default, PySpark it is supporting, by default PySpark. Other than that, as I said, Scala, SQL, even the R languages too. As per our comfortability, we can try to make use of and assign the developers to execute and tune these data source systems, and then trying to bring the visualizations and key insights as well. At a time, parallelly, we can try to work it. So for that, we have a connection mode with standard connection and high concurrency connection. So parallel people also, like at a time, we can try to connect the same notebook and we can work it together. So fine. And I'll just try to conclude this topic. So here, on-premises SQL Server, we can try to bring as per the connection secure, very secured manner. We can also store this data in the lake houses, and we can utilize on the different personas which are available, like as I mentioned, data engineering, data science, or even the data warehouse, we can try to build it. And it is completely one security. And even if you are trying to bring the row level table access to table access and even the column level, we can try to provide the accessing part too. So if you are working on this on-premises to cloud-based environment, the gateway should be online for enablement to pass secure the data in a right way into the cloud-based environment, which is safe and secure. Fine. And if you have any queries, any topics to discuss, please let me know. Please post it. And if you want to get in touch with me, so LinkedIn, I will be active, so you can get in touch with me there. So Path, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thanks to Microsoft Reactor team.
Thank you, Rajendra. Thank you for the beautiful session. And
Thank
yes,
you.
I have dropped in Rajendra's social handle in the chat section. You can reach out to him if you have more queries. And also, I have shared a few links which can help you to take your learning further. Yeah. So, there is one more link for load data lakehouse. This is SQL analytics endpoint, and this is for the load data lakehouse. Yes. Great, great. Thank you
Thank you,
all so
Path.
much. Thank you, Rajendra. Thank you once again
Thank you,
for
Path.
hosting.
Thanks for everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
nice day. Bye.